Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, tonight's video is going to be a bit of a selfish one, because I was asked to take a look at Def Leppard, again, after the video that I made recently where we were looking at crowd shot footage and we could see that, you know, everything was live and Joe's vocal was live as well. And somebody has sent a follow-up email asking me if I'm sure about the performances being fully live, because they've seen something on another channel, another performance, and they want me to look at that. So the reason that tonight's video is a selfish one is because the person linked me to a Sirius XM performance, which is this one on screen. And I did say to them that other performances that I've seen from other bands and artists on Sirius XM have been post-edited, and I think it's a Sirius XM thing that happens because some bands and artists that don't pitch correct their performances afterwards, when I've watched a performance of them on this particular channel, they then have been pitch corrected. So I think it's something that's done probably by the channel or the producers that work with the sound on the channel. And I mean, the important thing to mention is that it is an industry standard now, so it will be applied to performances, even kind of live performances, before then being uploaded and for people to see it on the internet. So the person in the email linked me to this performance from Sirius XM, and I replied to them saying that videos that I've seen in the past on Sirius XM have been pitch corrected, sometimes quite heavily, and that's even been the case with bands and artists that I know don't usually post pitch correct performances. So I think it's more of a channel thing, but it is important to understand that it is an industry standard for things to be pitch corrected, especially if there's a channel that are featuring different bands and artists, and then the production team from that channel is something that they might do. So I said to the person requesting this analysis to not be surprised if pitch correction has been applied. So this is why it's a selfish analysis, because I've already kind of put that to bed. So on the pitch monitoring software, if you do see things that look a little bit calibrated, then it's probably more of a channel decision and the channel production that have done that, rather than Def Leppard or the production team involved with them, or Joe, you know, demanding or anything like that. But the point of this video is to jump into Joe Elliott's vocal technique, because the person in the email said that it sounds like he's going into falsetto, and with this particular performance, it's great, and I love hearing this kind of thing because we can get such a great appreciation of what Joe's doing with his voice. And when I said in my previous analysis video that he seems to float up to these high notes, this is a great representation of exactly what he's doing. So we are just going to jump into this, and I'll play it with the instrumentation first. Not that I want this video to get blocked, but just so you get a vibe. So here, I mean, this is Photograph, by the way, the song. Any Def Leppard fans out there will know this very well. And I think a lot of people will know this song from hearing it's one of their kind of huge hits. But I'm just going to get rid of the backing, because taking it back, vocally, where Joe is at the moment, he's got this, my love, out of love. He's in this chest voice place, and I'm just going to move it on a little bit. I see your face every time I dream. And this is where things get really cool, because we can hear the transition of Joe's voice into now where this melody starts getting up into the, you know, the male tenor range, you know, if we're talking about classical singing, but we're not here. I'm just talking about the notes, you know, when we start getting up to, yeah, G4, A4, B4, C5. Have a listen to this again. Only one I want to touch. I see your face. So now, from this, I want to touch. I want to touch. I see your face. And now we've had this transition. And to me, and we're going to get a great representation of this later on, it sounds like falsetto. And when I say that, I mean true falsetto. The interesting thing is, I've been listening to Joe's voice for years and I've never spotted this, but because this is such a clean sound, and I mean, it's not a dry mic, but the sound is so pristine, we get to hear this really clearly. But he does it so well. Obviously, we're listening to the isolated vocals, so we can hear the transition even more clearly. But have a listen again.
I see your face every time I dream.
So we've kind of got this, I see your face every time I dream, like that. And time I dream. And then he comes down. But it's a really light sound. And it continues.
Every page of the magazine, so wild, so free, so far from me. You're all I want, I'm meant to see it. Oh, look what you've done to this rock and roll climb.
Yeah, and here we've got this clown. And now the difference here is that I think Joe is doing this in, full falsetto. But, when you put kind of reverb and delay on it, and when he transitions, you can't really tell that it's falsetto. So this is why he's floating up to these notes. Now, the thing is, when I do it and I go, clown, I can't do falsetto. That's my head voice that I'm using in order to get up there. And that's why I can go, clown, and my voice doesn't do that flip, because clown, it's all connected. When I go, yow, it doesn't sound as good. Obviously, I'd have to try and work at the tone and everything in order to kind of get that air to blend with the head voice, or make it sound, I don't know, a little bit more raspy or something. It's something that I've never worked on, but it's interesting to kind of navigate your way so much higher, where if you're trying to take chest voice up there, you'd hit a ceiling. Whereas when you kind of take in that airy head voice, it just means that, you don't have to really worry about those notes, because there's no weight in it. There's no weight in the sound that you're dragging up. That means you're then going to hit that ceiling and not be able to get the notes. And listen to the transition in the chorus, because this is even better. It gives you an even better appreciation of it. So listen to that change here. I don't want your chest voice clearly. And now he's changed over, and you can hear, because he's gone from there, which is kind of, a bit of a mix of chest. It's not like, it's not down there. So he's kind of placing that in the middle, but then the same note, and this is what I say about great singers, they can sing the same note in different vocal registers. So he's gone from this kind of, chest voice, head voice mix into now a full falsetto sound where he's hitting the same note. But now by doing it like, hitting like that, it means that, I don't need you. He can now, I don't need you. He can kind of float up to this A sharp 4. And, like I said, with, the pitch correction potentially being in there, this is why we might get things that look a little bit, more tightened up than they would be naturally.
But it's not enough.
Yeah, back into chest voice, and
I'd be your lover if you were there. Put your hand on me if you dare. Such a woman, you got style.
Oh, and there we have that. So we're kind of, such a woman, you got style. And when he comes down, style. That note, because he's in falsetto, it's then dropped down. I can't do falsetto, but it's then flipped down. So trying to get, and this is the thing, that you can't blend falsetto, like true falsetto, with your chest voice. The reason that I can do that is because I'm effectively going style, style. I'm using my head voice, but style, putting air through it. So it's kind of a cheat, but yeah, it still kind of makes it easy to kind of get up there. But anyway, the reason that this is selfish for this analysis video is nobody's asked me about this, but I just love hearing this kind of thing and what great singers do. And when people say about Joe's voice and they say, oh, he must be miming, or he must be, having bits on a backing track for the high notes, the reason that he doesn't have that is because he's not straining. But it might sound like that when he does it, because he blends it so well. And yeah, I mean, this is really a revelation for me, being able to hear it so clearly, because yeah, when you hear it with everything else, and I think it might be the case actually that in this particular performance that Joe's voice in falsetto wasn't maybe as strong or connected as it is, or was in the recording studio, but also for live shows and when you're in demand and you're touring all the time. Yeah, that might happen. So it might be a little bit more evident in just this one performance, and that's why, listening to him for so many years, I haven't been able to spot it. Some singers have the technique where they can make it really easy on their vocal cords, but it sounds like, they're kind of belting in chest voice. But when you analyze it in this kind of detail, even though this is an A sharp 4, top end of the male tenor range, it's falsetto. So it's really light and really controlled.
You make every man feel like a child.
And there, you make every man. Again, it doesn't sound the same when I do it because it's all the same. But
Man,
you can hear that man, the way that he then gets into that.
you make every man feel like a child. You got some kind of hold on me. You're all wrapped up in a mystery. So wild, so free.
I'll bring in the instrumentation just so you can hear it.
All wrapped up in a mystery. So wild, so free. So far from me. You're all I want to see.
I mean, when everything's in there, you can absolutely hear that this is what's going on. That's Joe's voice. So, I mean, yeah, I really like this song. I probably listened to this on repeat when I was at university. But it's great to hear the vocal technique in there.
You got straight to my head.
And to be fair, we've got a bit of guitar going in there. To be fair, with that held note, the reason that I'm saying it's a true falsetto sound is because of that sudden, ramp down into chest voice that we had earlier. But for a held note, that is impressive to hold it for that long, to control the airflow, because with falsetto, more air is passing through your vocal cords. So, yeah, if you run out of air, you run out of the sound. Your vocal cords won't vibrate anymore. So yeah, that was an impressively long held note for falsetto, but it just shows that he's got that in the locker.
Look what you've done to this rock and roll clown.
Yes, I mean, even these notes, and this is why the longevity is possible with Joe's voice, because even these notes here, look what you've done to this rock and roll clown, here, yeah, is all that light. But yeah, I mean, it really is a kind of illusion of sound that it sounds like he's kind of belting out. And I assure you, there are singers who will be belting this out who don't know what Joe's doing, and they'll burn out their voice up here around G sharp 4, A sharp 4, within a couple of songs, because they'll be going, look what you've done, and they'll be trying to bring their chest voice up to that place, not not appreciating that, look what you've done. It's that. It's just really light. So yeah, really cool.
Oh, look what you've done. I gotta have you photograph.
Again, that transition from chest into falsetto. But yeah, anyway, I guess because it's my kind of music, I could listen to this kind of thing all day, but especially listening to it in detail with that particular vocal. Maybe nobody will watch this video, but for me, I found this really interesting. So if anybody did watch, thank you for watching this video. And if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, for future requests, email requests at wingsofpegasus.com. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!